Well, hey, look what arrived super early. Nice. So the fifth entry in the Scream series came out in January. You might have heard something about it. I mean, if you're on this channel, I'm going to take a guess that you're actually quite aware and you've probably seen it. I actually did a full stream on this film as soon as it came out because I was super excited for it, as many Scream fans were. And I know it is not universally beloved. I actually addressed some of the interpretations and criticisms when I did that stream. Personally, I was impressed and I'm really looking forward to a rewatch. I also noticed that the Scream Blu-ray has got the filmmaker's commentary on it, and for me that's kind of the gold standard of extras. If anything is going to get me to actually buy a physical copy of a film, it's going to be audio commentaries. I am a big fan of them. But I wanted to talk about a fairly small detail in Scream, something that really impressed me and shows, I guess, it's emblematic of why fans appreciated this film. There was obviously a high bar of expectations, and one of the things that really won fans over, it certainly won me over, is the level of care taken with this film. The new creators learned the lesson from Scream 4.
You forgot the first rule of remakes, Jill. Don't f with the original.
Now, learning that lesson is really key to Scream 5's success. I am going to call it Scream 5 because I don't like saying Scream 2022. Now, obviously, this entry is the first one that is not directed by Wes Craven. It does not have Kevin Williamson writing, even though Kevin Williamson did not write all of Scream 3. This is an entirely new creative team. It is Team Radio Silence, with the directing by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, and a new writing team in Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt. And that obviously has a risk. They are an entirely new production team that is working with some of the original actors, but they're having to add to the canon entirely on their own with no bridging. Now, add to that Scream 4 has already tried and failed to reboot the series, so Team Radio Silence are obviously aware of how high the expectations are and how difficult the challenge is. They've got to take the second attempt at rebooting the Scream series. And I think one of the things that really helped them is the obvious level of care and reverence that they put into this film. And it's not just the very welcome Easter eggs and references that fans have already picked up on and discovered. I want to talk about something that I haven't seen anyone else discuss, that is the secrets of the ending song. I have not seen anyone else talk about this or pay much attention to the ending song, but it really stood out to me as just a good song. And then I thought about it more and I started speculating and I came up with this theory. And okay, it is basically speculation, but it has since been confirmed by me in my head. But I'll lay it out and you tell me what you think, see if you're convinced. So about the secrets of the ending song. Scream 5 ends with a very well-chosen tribute to Wes Craven and the same ending credit style that we are used to. That is the dramatis personae showcase that we've seen ever since the first film way back in 1996. Oh gosh, I'm old. And when we first heard Whisper to a Scream playing. Now, that was a cool song, it sticks in the head, but it is largely chosen, I think, because it has Scream in the title. I don't think it goes any deeper than that. The ending song for Scream 5, Fall Out of Love by Salem, with Carly Hansen as duet vocals, I think there's a lot more going on there. Now, that's the whole reason I wanted to make this video. Now, I know they wanted to put a lot of care into getting this right, and it was actually one of the very last things that they got sorted. Here is the director in his own words.
We could do a whole hour on like the history of how that song got in the movie, but
it was the final battle of the of the process.
And once they had settled on the song, they went to the extra effort of contacting the band and asking them to re-record it. Why did they do that? Well, according to the director, it's because of...
It was recorded very narrowly, right? It didn't have a lot of bass, no strings, no piano.
But obviously, you know, on this channel, I'm very happy to go full depth of the author whenever it suits my interpretation, and we're going to do that now. It is a lot of effort to get the thing re-recorded as a duet. So why did they do that? Well, personally, I think for my interpretation, they did it because they see Scream 5 as a duet itself. That is a duet between the original creative team of Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson and themselves. You know, they know they are working in Wes Craven's world with the characters that he helped mould, and they've got to add their own voice to it, their own authorial voice, adding new characters and new canon in with the original characters. Creatively, Scream 5 is a duet. And then there's the lyrics themselves. Obviously, you know, I have to talk about the lyrics of the song. It's not just that Fall Out of Love begins with the sort of cheeky line, like an apparition appeared in the kitchen. So an apparition, or a ghost, if you will. That's obviously a reference to Ghostface in the kitchen at the start and the end of the film. But it goes beyond that cute reference to Ghostface. It has a really interesting line, hold myself a funeral just so you'll bring me flowers. That's the idea of, if you want the celebration, the flowers, the thing that you enjoy, you're going to have the funeral. That is, you're going to have the pain, you're going to have the character deaths. Basically, for them to enjoy the Scream series, to return to it, to get the celebration they want, they're going to have to cause a whole load of suffering.
We took the soundtrack really seriously, like, because we love the soundtracks from the other one. Every single song is, to us, very special. There's no plug in place. It's like everything is very thought out.
And that's really working alongside the chorus line here, the save yourself, fall out of love. That's very much the dilemma that most of the characters in this film find themselves in. They can save themselves, they can avoid the risk of pain and death if they fall out of love, if they don't try and save their sister, if they don't try and live up to the expectations that they will help, if they don't come back to save a friend. They can save themselves if they fall out of love. And appropriately enough for a Scream movie, there's obviously a meta-interpretation as well. Like, we're going very deep in this. The meta-interpretation is that line, save yourself, fall out of love, applies very much to the production team of Scream 5. So they are big fans of the Scream series. They're very much in love with it. They love the world, they love the legacy characters that they brought back and treated with so much respect. But they can save themselves the risk, save themselves the potential career problems of failing to relaunch the franchise for a second time. They can save themselves the ire of fans that, if you've watched this film, you know they are very concerned about. They can save themselves all of that if they fall out of love with the series, if they just don't take on this challenge. Now, you might think that is overthinking it, that is a massive reach, but I assure you, for this channel, this is a very mild reach. This is a baby's first reach. We go a lot further in the crazy overinterpretation here when we get going. But even if I'm wrong on some of that, I do think there's obviously so much in the mix here that speaks to the directors that's obviously why they chose this song. It's all part of showing how much thought went into this production to make sure it was respectful, that it actually fit the world of Scream, and that it was a fitting contribution to the series. As I said earlier, this very convincing theory is basically all but confirmed, but just for extra ego validation, I am going to tweet at the directors. I'm sure they'll be very responsive and actually confirm my interpretation here. It's not like they've got a lot on their hand. Well, good luck with that, I guess. Maybe you can tweet at the directors too, and we can get confirmation of my obviously not crazy theory. That'd be kind of nice. In the meantime, while we wait for external validation, I'm going to be doing a rewatch of Scream and hopefully finding some gems in the filmmaker's commentary. And if you'd like to hear more from me, I have substantial videos on many horror topics, and I actually do a live stream every Tuesday at 8 PM British time. We cover a horror topic and then a horror film in depth. We're currently looking at a little subgenre arc I'm calling disturbing footage. We've done The Ring, we're going to do 8mm, and we're rounding off with broadcast signal intrusion. Haven't seen it, but I like the trailer, so hopefully it's a good one. And yeah, you know how YouTube works. Do the subscribe thing, click the bell, and then you're not going to miss anything, and I'll feel a little bit better about myself, you know, that'd be nice. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Do the subscribe thing. All right. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.